Technically, we're closing agenda item 10. We had a discussion on other items. And now we will open up for citizen participation, public comment. Ms. Duncan.
Thank you all for such a wonderful presentation from the governor's office and from the city. My name is Katie Duncan, and I've been involved with this organization since 2007. And I was asked to come and speak to you by Assemblyman Gene Collins at the time, because he said the redevelopment agency was created in 1986 specifically to redevelop the historic West Side. And since 1986, per your map, you developed everything but the reason why the redevelopment agency was created in the first place. The redevelopment agency was also supposed to require that any business that got redevelopment agency dollars to have 51% of those employees be from the West Side or from the redevelopment area. They weren't able to meet that goal, so they changed the requirement to 15% of the people should be from the redevelopment area. They're still not reaching that goal. They may reach some of the goals through the construction, but on the long-term employment, they've never reached their goals. And Bill can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's the past. And as they said, we have a lot of money coming down the pipeline now, so we have to make sure that now that the money's here, that we get it right. And I applaud the Governor's Office of Economic Development for working with the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance, but that's not a diverse organization. If you really want to reach the businesses in the West Side, we need to come to the West Side and work with the West Side Chamber of Commerce or the Ward 5 Chamber of Commerce. This is all we do. And I know we have a great affinity and a great love for the Urban Chamber of Commerce, but Urban Chamber of Commerce works for all African American businesses, minority businesses statewide, while our Chamber of Commerce specifically is geographically focused on the area that's in question. So we'd like to know what it would take to get the Ward 5 Chamber of Commerce or the Historic West Side Chamber of Commerce treated like we treat the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. We have been looking for ways to bring lots of dollars into the SNEC. You're the best organization we have to receive federal, state, and local dollars to do the actual projects that need to be done. So we made an application to the county for $50 million. We don't know why they can't be funded through the ARP. We've also asked the governor's office to put $250 million into this initiative. We've asked the city of Las Vegas for $20 million. If they would simply fund our applications, now we wanted to ask the city of North Las Vegas to give, they only got $46 million. So if we could put those funds in under the, if this board could be the fiscal agency for those funds that have already been applied for, we'd be on the right track. And we hear a lot of conversation about jobs, 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 and job training. However, we're in the hospitality industry. We're in the tourism industry. We need to figure out how to take advantage of the most sought after tourism activity right now. Is Black history, African American history. And the West Side has the largest concentration of African Americans in the state. So why can't we develop and promote more tourism opportunities? We've been working on the Pioneer Trail. The Pioneer Trail is an excellent opportunity to attract tourism. It starts at Springs Preserve, it winds its way through the West Side and around to the Mormon Fort. And our job is to connect it into North Las Vegas so the tourists would travel from Las Vegas through the West Side and into North Las Vegas. So we put a little money into the Pioneer Trail, some lighting, some beautiful bus stops, maybe Sammy Davis Jr. leaning on the side of a bus stop or sitting in Pearl Bailey's lap at the bus stop. We've got to get creative. We could put trees along the Pioneer Trail, fruit trees. We could put family entertainment along the Pioneer Trail. The Pioneer Trail could become a family destination just like the Las Vegas Strip is to adults. Immediately, what we need is funds to businesses. There are a lot of struggling businesses who could use a revolving loan fund. We've yet to be able to qualify for those funds because we don't meet the minimum qualifications. For example, there's one fund in the redevelopment agency where you have to have 4 units to be eligible for the funds. So if you have a 3-unit apartment, you can't get the money. So whoever's writing the policy for how these loans can be deployed needs to really look at what the real needs are of the businesses that are in the neighborhood. We've got a community Wi-Fi. We have Soul City Wi-Fi. We're a wireless internet service provider. We need to be funded. We need to get money to keep that monthly service. Anybody who comes onto the west side, no matter what device they have, whether it's a laptop or mobile unit or whatever, they can access Wi-Fi. But if we don't get some help keeping that monthly service charge and paying our technology center, we're going to lose our Wi-Fi system. We came to the city of Las Vegas and we asked for money to make a special incubator for us. We're the descendants of American slaves. Our education level is less than any other group in the nation. Our communities continue to be at the bottom of America's economic ladder. So we asked for a special incubator for the descendants of American slaves. We were not funded, but we do need a business incubator where we can speak to these people in the language that they speak. We don't necessarily speak the same language. We don't know perhaps municipal bonds and the type. We're just the W-2 wage earners. So learning the language of business takes a special effort. We do that every day at the Harrison House. Harrison House is a community development corporation, and we could certainly use some capacity funding and a lot of other support so we can continue to service the businesses that you see out here. They're here because we invited them here. Your notices about this meeting are not getting out to the public. We also have public outreach. You might consider joining our Chamber of Commerce so that we can help you get to the people that you want to reach. The Urban Chamber does not necessarily represent the historic West Side. They represent African American businesses statewide. The governor's office said, this is an urgent situation, so we need to sit down. And I have the captain of the fire department over here. And I know if he had an urgent situation, his firefighters wouldn't come in and sit down. So sitting down may not be the proper answer for when there's an urgent situation. It's time for these agencies to deploy their staff into the communities where the work needs to be done. Because we're not the only city in America that has this problem and this challenge, we looked to other cities across America to see how they were doing it. We found some very good examples. Atlanta, Georgia has a great program. It's called the Westside Future Fund. So we looked at Atlanta as a model to see how they did it. And they have to think about what to do. We have to bring in professionals. This is new language for us. So we've established a West Side think tank, just like they're doing in Atlanta, to bring in the professionals from every avenue so we can think about what to do. It's new to all of us. So starting on the 21st of September, on Tuesday, we have Mr. Bill Arndt, who's graciously is going to be doing a crowdfunding roundtable. So we can figure out how to raise both nonprofit and for-profit funds through the crowdfunding process. There's also millions of dollars of opportunity zones trying to get into our communities. We need a vehicle to connect those opportunity zones to the projects that need to be funded. We're also looking at the American Rescue Fund, and John Edmond, who's the Economic Development Officer, has also agreed to come and speak to us about American Rescue Funds. So I just want to invite you to please come and be a part of the think tank on September 21st and every 2 weeks after that. We've had 2 developers approach us, both with $2 billion apiece, that want to deploy funds into the community. They just need vehicles. So we need your support. We need the knowledge that you have. We need your expertise. And we need to have a way to sit down with developers and let them know that the city's with them and they're going to protect their money. We're going to be transparent. They need to be able to connect with you. They're not able to get to you. And I had a lady at Mel Green, the architect, brought a lady to the house Friday morning and said, she has $2 billion and she wants to spend, but she can't get an audience with the right people. So I directed her to this board because I believe you are the professional, experienced team that can actually be the fiscal agency to help deploy some of these funds. And I hope you'll consider me for a seat on the board, as it is a passion of mine. I'm much older than all of you. I was here when the SNEC board started. You know, when Bill Clinton set this thing up in 1994, I was still alive then. So give me an opportunity to come and meet with you and work with you so that we can all bring about the best result for the historic West Side and all of the SNEC area. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan. Is there anyone else?